All right, today's lesson is on ratio tables, and you have your notes, so make sure you have them, and let's go ahead and get started. So ratio tables are going to help you when we start talking more about proportional reasoning. So let's just know that ratio tables are tables. They're columns that are filled with pairs of numbers that have the same ratio. So for example, if you look at this one, soda to juice, the ratio is 1 to 3. So if I were to double that, that would be 2 to 6. If I triple it, it would be 3 to 9, and so on. So these are all just equivalent ratios, okay? So a ratio table will just show equivalent ratios, okay? All right, so for example, you don't have this on your notes, but if I have 3/5 and if I wanted to double it, it would be 6/10. If I wanted to triple my ratio, it would be 9/15, and so on. Okay, so hopefully you're noticing that, the top numbers are multiples of 3 and the bottom numbers are multiples of 5. So that just shows all equivalent ratios, okay, equivalent ratios. All right. So we could do that to show all the ratios, but sometimes that could get kind of old. So there is another way we can look at it. So sometimes we can, to help us find equivalent, we can just kind of go from one ratio to the next. So if I look at this, if I wanted to go from 6 to 20, that might be difficult to figure out what I am multiplying by. But if I were to simplify this ratio first, it would be a lot easier. So if I look at this ratio, if I want to simplify it, if I divide it by 3, that gives me 4/5. Still the same equivalent ratios. But now I can easily go from 4 to 20. That would just be multiplying by 5. So the same on bottom, if I multiplied that by 5, it would give me 25. So that helps me out. Okay, so same thing here. If I look at 36 here, I can't go from 24 to 36 easily. Okay, but if I were to simplify this ratio, let's say if I divide it by 2, say I get 10/12. Now I can easily go from 12 to 36. I can multiply by 3. So if I multiply the top of my ratio by 3, that gives me 30. And those are all equivalent ratios. Okay. So sometimes on that ratio table, you're going to build it up, and sometimes you might need to simplify it before you build it up, okay? So in this particular case, so let's see, my ratio of taxis to buses is 6 to 5. So you kind of want to know, if I look here, I want to figure out what this is. Look what's been given. I can go from 5 to 15 if I multiply by 3. So the same thing on top if I multiply by 3, okay? If I want to get to 36, I look at these. Actually, either one of them can help me get to 36, but I'm just going to go from here to here. That's multiplied by 6. Same thing on bottom, multiplied by 6. Okay? If you look at this one here, how did I go from 14 to 7? I divided by 2. So also know on a ratio table, you're always multiplying and dividing. Just multiplying and dividing. Okay? So if I divide by 2 here, that gives me 4. Then if I want to get to 16, either of these numbers will help me get to 16. I'm just going to do this one because it's easier. So 4 times 4, multiply the top by 4, and that gives me 28. Okay? All right, let's keep moving. All right, so on a ratio table, let's look at this one. So again, you're just going to kind of look at the numbers that were given to you. So if I look from here to here, that gives me to multiply by 3. So I multiply the top by 3. If I have 8 here, which one of these numbers helps me get to 8? This one. So I'm going to get that. That's going to multiply by 4. Multiply by 4. Okay. If I have 12 here, look at your numbers here. Which one's going to help me get there? Either this one or this one. I'm going to do 2 because it's easier. Times 6. Times 6. Which one of these helps me get to 75? This one or this one? So I'm going to use 15 because I know 15 times 5. So times 5. Okay. And then this one here, 120, I can use lots of these numbers. This one, this one, this one, or this one. Easiest, I think, is going to be this one, because I'm going to multiply by 60, multiply by 60. That gives me 300. Okay? All right, so why don't you pause the video and write this one down somewhere on the side of your notes if you can do that, and then come back when you have your answer. All right, check out your answers there. Okay, if you need any help with those, just let me know. Okay. All right, so now we're going to look at them in word problems. Okay, we're going to look at the ratio tables in word problems. So this says Amari can create 6 clay figures every 2 hours. So we're going to look at our ratios first. We're looking at a 6-to-2 ratio. So the 6 represents clay figures, okay, and the 2 represents hours. All right, so the question is, how long will it take him to make 36 figures? Okay, figures were on top. I'm going to put my 36 here. Then you just ask yourself, how did you go from 6 to 36? You multiplied by 6, so multiply the bottom by 6, and you get 12. So that means it will take him how long? 12 hours. Okay. Next one. There are 6 boys for every 4 girls in the after-school club. If there's 21 boys, how many girls are there? All right, look at my initial ratio. I'm looking at boys to girls. I'm looking at boys to girls, and my ratio is 6-to-4. Okay, and then the other piece of information, if there's 21 boys, all right, so boys was on top of my ratio, so I'm going to put it here because that's what I want to get to. Okay, I can't easily go from 6 to 21, but if I simplify this ratio, if I simplify it, I'm going to divide it by 2. That gives me 3/2. Then can I go from 3 to 21? Multiply by 7, multiply the bottom by 7, and I get 14. So how many girls are there? There's 14 girls. Okay. All right, let's do just a couple more. All right. All right, cans of corn are on sale 10 for $4, and the cost, what's the cost of 15 cans? All right, so go to your numbers. What are you looking for? So 10 to 4. 10 represents cans or corn, whatever you want to say. 4 represents money. Okay. The other piece of information is 15 cans. Cans are on top. Okay. So now I can't go from 10 to 15. So I want to simplify this. So I'm going to divide by 2. Now I can easily go from 5 to 15. I'm going to multiply by 3, multiply by 3. Okay. All right. Why don't you pause the video and do this one by yourself. Pause it and come back when you have your answer. All right. Check out that answer. Took her 28. She got 28 lawns in 49 hours. Whew, lots. Okay. All right, you've got 3 problems. I want you to try each of these out by yourself. It is on your notes page. And when you finish, I want to see your answers. Okay? So pause the video. Actually, you don't need to pause the video. It's on your notes. So go ahead and finish your notes. And when you're finished, let me see them. All right. Have a great day.